Welcome to another episode of the Nintendo Powercast. It's Nintendo News Daily. I'm your host, N64 Josh. If you're watching the video either on YouTube or Spotify, you are seeing Link's Awakening, which one of my favorites from the Switch 1 era. That is for sure. Absolutely beautiful game. So much fun seeing it at E3 2019. But what's today's video going to be about? Well, we're going to be talking Nintendo news, of course. We got a handful of headlines to take a quick look at, and then going to be all about Pokemon Z-A. We've got some review roundups that we're going to be taking a look and see how people are enjoying this game so far, and then just some other news regarding Pokemon Z-A and even what I'm planning for the community with that game. And that's based on some of the headlines that we will see today. So, first up, power up your Polaroids with Instamax Mini Link's new Mario update. What is this? Power up your Polaroids? That's right. So, this is a Nintendo Life article. It says, remember Nintendo's collaboration with Fujifilms? The Fujifilm, the one that let you add all kinds of Switch relevant frames and stickers to your screenshotted Polaroids via the Instamax Mini Link 3? I don't. I don't. Do you? Don't worry, we had forgotten about it too, but the company just released a new update to help add an extra bit of Mushroom Kingdom flair to your physical snaps. And one of the pictures they're showing is a swamp in the middle of the photo, and they're kind of like a Snapchat filter, if you will, just adding some different Mario characters to your shots. The main addition in this update is the Instax Air Studio, as the capitalization on the former suggests, and it's capital A, lowercase I, capital R. I'm assuming going for that AR effect here. Taking a look back at the article, says this new studio lets you take your photos with some Mario AR effects to boot. Very, very 3DS, if you guys remember. So if you need a pic of your friend hitting a block or holding a red shell or popping out of a warp pipe, you're in luck. Similarly, self-explanatory is the new click to collage feature, which takes snaps at 3-second intervals and lets you throw in some familiar Mario faces for good measure. With the collection snapped up, you can then print out the full series photo booth style. Of course, it wouldn't be a Mario update without some fresh merch to boot. And Fujifilm revealed that new limited edition Instax Mini Link 3 bundle featuring a sweet question mark block silicone case will be launching later this month for $149.99. So there you go. This is something that I had completely forgot about, but it's also kind of fun looking at some of these different Polaroids, the AR effects, seeing, like they said, seeing your friends come out of warp pipes and whatnot. It makes for some interesting content, to say the least. So if you are super into taking photos and even printing some of your Polaroids, which it's so crazy for me to think about. Quick side note. I had what I would consider my first band photo. If you guys are picking up what I'm putting down, where everybody had to look as tough as possible. I had to have been in the 4th or 5th grade. And if you were a kid of the 80s, you had to put your thumbs through your belt loops when you were taking a picture. And I think I kind of spread my legs and tried to look as mean as I could as a 5th grader. And everybody else in the picture was doing the same thing. I had that Polaroid for years. When I hear Polaroid, that is what I think of. So, don't you just got to go with it. That's what happened when you were a child of the 80s. Moving on with the news here. Hollow Knight Silksong receives another update, and here are the patch notes. This is from Nintendo Life. I'm not going to get into the article. I'm just going to go through the notes, and I'm going to kind of scan as I'm reading because it is pretty extensive. So if you're on PlayStation 5, added support for DualSense Edge controllers, improved support for various controllers on Mac. Game now pauses when the controller disconnects. Fix various smaller controller issues. More fixes to come in the future. Fixed remaining instance of certain players getting stuck first while in late game. fixed curve claw, not reacting to hunter downstab, and rare instances of being able to air dash and double jump when not intended. Fix several out of bounds situations, and I mean it goes on. There are a lot of things. So it's kind of cool to see this as this game has been in the wild, as they've probably seen some videos, maybe had some bug reports come in, whatever the case may be. They're able to go through and make some of these changes. Some of them though, like being able to air dash and double jump when not intended, that sometimes that gets picked up for speedrunners, and then when they can no longer do that, it's kind of a bummer. But they didn't want it in the game, so I totally get it. It's their baby. But there are quite a few updates to the game. I want to hear from you guys. How far have you made it in this game? Have you beat it yet? Are you having a good time with it? Is it one that you want to complete? I know Nick texted me and said Nick is a loyal listener of the show and was like, "Yo, 70 hours into Silk Song, I finally beat it. I'm ready for a new game." So, well, I want to hear from the rest of you guys if you are still playing it or if you've beat it and if you plan on beating it. I've seen a number of posts saying I got enough out of Silk Song. I'm not going to go any further, and I'm curious. I was actually like, yo, I need to pick this game back up. Like it's just been I've been going all in on Mario Kart. I have you guys will be able to hear an episode maybe even later tonight of me talking about what's going on with Mario Kart and how I've started playing competitively. And I'm getting destroyed right now, but I don't care. I'm having a ton of fun. So there's so much to play. It's honestly crazy. So much to play, and then Pokemon coming out this week, which I'm gonna like. I'll just see you guys later. Hopefully there'll still be shows coming out once Pokemon launches. Well, we got a rumor here. Yesterday we talked about Assassin's Creed making its way to Switch 2. Now there's this rumor is saying they may clash with Metroid Prime 4. So the article from Nintendo Life says multiple rumors have been doing the rounds regarding a potential Switch 2 release for Assassin's Creed Shadows, the latest flagship entry in Ubi's stealth series, with age rating and even box art images making their way online. Now, thanks to prominent leaker Bill Kuhn over on Deal Labs, we may know that the proposed launch date for Shadows, according to the article, the game is scheduled to release on the 5th of December, just in time for Christmas. This also means that it's landing just one day after the highly anticipated Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, which is scheduled to release on both the Switch and Switch 2 on the 4th of December. We're not expecting a huge amount of crossover between the two games in terms of target audience, but we imagine Ubisoft must be losing out on at least a handful of sales as a result. And kind of interesting. A lot of the conversation I had early on when we were not seeing dates for Metroid Prime 4 is, are they working around third parties? Are they working around first parties? What is happening? I think everybody is kind of the mind that they were trying to figure out where to put Hyrule Warriors and Metroid. Metroid ended up needing some more time, so they put it there. The unfortunate thing with Ubisoft, this game has what I would consider like two things against it right now. First up, it's an Ubisoft game. And so I think everybody kind of expects Ubisoft games to go on sale not long after they release. And two, it's a game that's already out on other systems and then releasing right next to what hopefully will be one of the Switch 2's bigger launch games. Fingers crossed. I know it's Metroid, but I'm still holding out hope. And so I hope it's not going to be just overshadowed too much by Samus and the next game in the Prime series. I think there are going to be a number of fans out there that are excited to have an Assassin's Creed game on the Switch. B, they're excited to take this game on the go in particular because they might be huge fans of it. And one of the things that does excite me about this is a modern generation game. If this rumor is true, and like always, take it with a grain of salt, if this is true, this is a modern gen game making its way to Switch 2. And so there's got to be there's going to be conversations of how does it look, how does it run, all that kind of stuff. They have proven already that Star Wars Outlaws was very capable on Switch 2, and they continue to support it. And going into next year right away, you've got Final Fantasy. So they probably, their best bet is to try to get this out before Christmas, having it out, within the first week of December, probably the best idea for them. I totally get it. It is just a bummer that it is happening. It happens to fall with Metroid Prime 4. If this is true, if it's true, we don't know just yet. It is going based on the leaks of the box. It is going to be a game key card, which again I know people love to talk about those things, and love them or hate them. I do believe they are here to stay. I am pretty confident that we will see more full games within the Switch 2's lifespan that are not just first party. I think people are paying attention. It just kind of it's gonna boil down to a number of things. It's gonna boil down to projections, for their margins and that kind of stuff, and then also just watching what people are doing. And when it comes to physical games and physical media, the full games are selling better. There's no question there, no question. And it does go back to the whole conversation of does it run better being on the system versus running off of the card also. And with these modern games, it it may not be an option. There is a very real possibility with games that aren't fully optimized for Switch 2 that it may not be an option. So we'll just have to wait and see what the future holds. Regardless, very exciting to see Assassin's Creed Shadows making its way onto Switch 2, presumably, right? Where it's pure speculation at this point. Well, it's time to get into the main topic of today, and that is the Pokemon Legends Z-A review roundup, as well as a few other things. So let's jump into this. All right. Well, Pokemon ZA reviews are out. And just taking a look at Nintendo Life here, they've got a good list put together of a bunch of different outlets that have given their scores. Looking at Nintendo Life, they gave it a 7 out of 10. I was watching some of their review on YouTube. It says calling the new real time combat mechanics the best Pokemon battles have ever felt, but struggling with the whole setup of Lumos City. Here's a snippet. Pokemon Legends Z-A should be celebrated for its fabulous real-time combat, which I loved. I absolutely loved. I'm not reading right now. This is me. I was completely sold right off the bat. As soon as I played, I knew I was playing something special. The moment I started the combat, I loved it. It literally, like I said in other episodes, Xenoblade. It was given some serious Xenoblade vibes. It's largely smooth jump to Switch 2. It also runs so smooth. But in condensing things down into one single location, it loses part of the Pokemon magic that Arceus and many other entries managed to amplify. And so that is an interesting point. I'm wondering for me and for people getting into the series potentially for the first time, if this isn't going to be something that feels like a bite-sized Pokemon to a certain extent, that because it's not so vast, I think part of the reason I've never completed a Pokedex is I look at how big everything is and I'm like, I'm not like I don't want to go all the way over there. I don't want to keep going out here and doing this where it's like if this is all in the city, everything's fast travel and you have the ability to fast travel everywhere. I might actually like it better. It may be something that I like better. And I am setting a goal right now to complete the Pokedex in Pokemon Legends ZA on my own, to not have somebody feed me all of the Pokemon, which tends to happen. And shout out to you guys in the community. I love you for it. It's amazing. And it's not that I won't do some trades here and there and maybe get a little bit of help, but for the most part, I really want to tackle this game on my own and just really get the most out of it. really get the most out of it. So jumping down to VGC's 5 out of 5, their little blurb says, in many areas, it feels like a massive departure for the series with its new battle system and ZA Royale structure. In particular, paying off and once again proving that the Legends series is home to the most interesting ideas Game Freak has. And I love that. That is incredible. And I like I just know I'm gonna enjoy this game for quite some time. Tech Radar Gaming says went ever so slightly lower in its 4.5 review, praising the how the game reinvigorates the classic formula and packs in a cracking story and soundtrack to boot. The little blurb from Tech Radar Gaming, it says it finds a way simultaneously mix things up while gripping perfectly to a few core Pokemon pillars, such that the end result can feel very different yet very recognizable all at once. Games Radar gave it a 4 out of 5. Their little blurb says Pokemon Legends Z-A may not be the perfect open world adventure, but it's a slice of life. But its slice of life vibes and brilliant battle system changes are a real delight. And I hope this isn't the last we see of its innovations. And I don't think we will. I think that what is happening here with Champions coming out is it's allowing Game Freak to grow as a company and not be stuck behind what I would say is a potentially dated battle system. I mean, it's obviously classic JRPG turn-based battle system, but I think it's okay to see this game, to see this, uh, to see the Pokemon games evolve and become something more and become something new. And the moment I played this, had it just had its claws in me. It had its claws in me, and I'm really hopeful that it'll be the same for you. And if you're listening to this and you're kind of on the fence, I would say this is going to be the Pokemon game to jump in. Wait a little bit. Let me go hands on further if you want to hear more from me. But I mean, the majority of the scores here are 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10. You know, I believe the game is sitting at an 81 on Metacritic, and a lot of people are really, really enjoying this already. So, Pocket Tactics gave it an 8 out of 10. It said the game might be the bravest and boldest effort from Game Freak in as long as I can remember. And the developer is successful in a lot of ways. Love that. Super. It's great to hear some positivity when it comes to Game Freak. Gfinity gave it a 7 out of 10. Just revisiting an area in modern times in Legends felt like a good idea when I first started the game, but upon reflection, traveling back to the more ancient time in Arceus felt like a much fresher experience. Okay, I mean that reviewer appreciated the the ancient time. I'm okay with it being more modern. Honestly, I'm okay with it. I didn't mind Arceus and that it was more ancient time, but at the same time I hoped that there was going to be a little bit more to it that we might get into future games, and I know it did lead into like what the Pearl game, the Diamond and Pearl games, so that was also very cool. So I'm I am very okay with it being modern and not having like they almost look like wooden pokeballs, right? And then lastly, from the article here, Eurogamer gave it a 3 out of 5, describing it as a proof of concept. So let's see. It says what we have is a kind of proof of concept, but the concept is so good that you can't help but feel a little frustrated to be teased with it. So they wanted more. They wanted more, which is a good thing. I mean, that I would say is a very good thing. And so I can understand why it maybe lowered the score a little bit. I'm not sure on the exact length of the story. I'm not here for the story necessarily. Like, I'm going to play through it. I'm going to have a good time with it, but I'm okay if it doesn't take me super long because I want to get to end game and I want to get to battling. Okay. And so that's what is very important to me. And speaking of battling, this is from My Nintendo News. Pokemon Legends Z-A Ranked Battle Season 1 starts on launch day. The Pokemon Company has announced that the first season of the ranked battle mode in Pokemon Legends Z-A will commence on Thursday, which is the day the new Pokemon game launches worldwide. The Pokemon Company also stated that Greninjite, I think is how you say it, will be given as a rank up reward that you can give the Mega Stone to Greninja and make it evolve into Mega Greninja. So this is exciting for me, and you guys are going to get to follow along with my journey with this game. I'm currently documenting playing competitive in Mario Kart. I am still playing Smash on the regular. I wanted to squeeze in more Splatoon, but for the time being, I am going to focus mainly on Mario Kart and Pokemon Legends Z-A. They are going to be my main two games, and I'm going to be documenting everything and trying to get as many of you as possible to jump in and play these battles. I'm hoping they have a long tail. I don't know exactly how it looks. I'm very curious on like what is the meta going to be like. There's I feel like on top of the mind game that you have with Pokemon, there's also going to be a little bit of skill when it comes just to movement on the controller and how you're paying attention to not only your character but what your Pokemon's doing. And I'm not quite sure in the ranked battles if you can do damage to the other trainers or if it's strictly Pokemon. I think it's strictly Pokemon at this point, but you know, we're gonna be going hands on with this thing within a couple days, and we will have all these details. I'm excited. I'm gonna jump into ranked right away. I'm gonna you know, move whatever Pokemon I need to into this game and and hope for the best. I'm just gonna hope for the best, but I'm really, really excited for a ranked battle. Like really excited. That's the main reason I want this game. I'm excited for all the other things. Don't get me wrong, but ranked battle. When I saw this headline, I got very, very excited. Very excited. So I hope to see as many of you out there as possible because I think it's gonna be a great time. I'm very excited. So the last thing I want to talk about Pokemon wise is TCG. TCG Pocket announced a new update and features for the first anniversary. And so, taking a look at the article here from Nintendo Life, it says at the end of this month officially marks the first anniversary of Pokemon trading card game Pocket on mobile devices. The title has been regularly updated with new expansions and features like trading, and soon it will receive an even more new and updated feature in the form of three major updates coming soon. Implementation of a new share feature, a feature that lets you give um, it looks like different rarities of cards to friends. You can send one card to each of your friends each day, which is pretty cool. Once friends send you cards through the share feature, you can select and receive one card each day. Range of tradable cards expanded. You'll be able to trade cards from even the most recent booster packs. In addition, cards of different rarity, star one, star two, and shiny one, shiny two rarity cards will also be eligible for trading. And improvements to the Wonder Pick feature cards from the latest expansion that you have not obtained will appear more often. The number of cards you currently own will be displayed in each card in Wonder Pick. So there you go. Some big updates coming to Pokemon TCG as well. So Pokemon fans are eating well. There's a lot going on within the Pokemon community, and the games is very excited. They're very exciting, and I cannot wait until Thursday to be able to jump in and try ranked and to see what I think of Pokemon Legends Z-A. Well, I appreciate you guys so much for listening. And remember, as always, play it loud.